bunch of knives that got dropped off at the shop yesterday for sharpening. Let's see what we have. Just generic department store knives, but we'll make them sharp. Let's see what we got here. Boy, they need some work. There's nothing left on them. No, we can make them sharp. Some of them need new tips forged in or sharpened into them. A little bit of reshaping. That'll work. Let's start with one of these little paring knives. Pieces broke right out of the blade. I like to try and get a nice flat edge, free of chips before I put an edge on it. I don't look too bad. Not too much pressure because you don't want to burn the tip. Probably even turn that down some. Variable speed is definitely an asset when it comes to sharpening knives. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we'll start putting the double on it. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. Definitely not sharp yet. It's not feeling too bad. I'll do some more paring knives and then I'll take another video when I start the Santoku. 3 paring knives, rough ground. Had to remove a little bit of material because they were had some pretty deep chips and pieces missing out of it. Now we'll move on to the Santokus and then the chef's knife. And then we'll put them on the stone to hone them. And then the leathers drop. This one has the wrong cutting edge profile. So we're going to try and reshape that so it's a little better. That's looking better. Hit it one more time here. Sometimes doing these department store knives, you got to remove quite a bit of material to end up with a good cutting edge. Unfortunately, we'll make it work. Now, if this was a high-end, high-carbon steel chef's knife or custom-made knife, I would not do it like this unless the cutting edge was in horrible condition. Most of the high-end knives would probably be done by hand on a split stone. Not feeling too bad. Yeah. I'll get the rest of them done, and then I'll take a video of the chef's knife. So there's 4 Santoku style knives, rough shaped. We had to move a fair amount of material on a couple of them to get the tip back, but it doesn't look too bad. Now we're to the chef's knife. So this one has a thicker cutting edge, a little different profile. Doesn't seem to be any chips, too many chips and digs in it. But I think we'll still flatten it out and then put a bevel on it, or a cutting edge on it. A couple chips right there. Let's try her. Get the point reshaped. Nice light passes to prevent any heat from building up. Make sure the angle is somewhat right. No sharp edges on the spawn. Not too bad. So all the chips are gone. I'm sure there's some people out there that'll say I'm doing this wrong, which is fine. Everybody has a different way of doing it. But these are not expensive high-end knives. And most people just want a sharp blade, and that's what we're doing here. It's not looking too bad. Try and have a nice even line all the way down the cutting edge. Ideally you'd have an angle, a jig to hold the proper angle, but it hardly matters on me. Not too bad. And I'm happy with that. I'll get it on the stone. Let's see if we can make them sharper. Alright. This is what I like to hone with. This is just a small Arkansas stone. Probably should get a bigger one someday. And I really like this Wolf's Premium Ultimate Knife Care Oil. This came from Maritime Knife Supply. And it's really good stuff, and you don't need a lot of it. So let's put a little oil on the stone. and give it a little hone. That's probably too much, but it'll be fine. That's way too much. Try and go from heel to tip in one pass. And try and keep a consistent angle. On high-end chef's knives, you want to make sure your angles are exactly what they need to be. Because an angle really does, proper angle really does make a difference on a good quality knife. Now, don't feel too bad. That's a good start for the, still a burr on that side. We'll try and get it off. What you'll find is when you do this, you'll have a burr on one side when you rub your finger on it, and you'll hone it. And you'll flip it over, and you'll feel a burr on both sides, this side. So your burr will move back and forth, depending on which side you hone on, and you want to hone it until you don't feel a burr on either side. Because once that burr is gone, that is where your sharp edge is. There's no burr there. There's no burr there. All right, I'll do the rest of the Sudokus, and then we'll do the paring knives. Here's one thing I want to show too, how you can use a small stone on a larger knife and still have decent results. Just make sure your stone stays oiled. You start on the heel, and you can work it all the way to the front. I'm recording this on an iPhone, so it's probably not great quality. It gives you the idea. Flip it around, and when I flip it this way, I usually start at the tip and work towards the heel. The more you do it, the more feel you get for it, and your angle will vary. But you'll still end up with a sharp knife. You just want to do it until the burr, you don't feel the burr on either side of your blade. Sides feels all right. That feels all right. You still want to be careful because the knife is sharp and it will cut you. We might do that side just a little bit more. Now, if there was no burr, we'd feel, if there's a burr, we'd feel it on the opposite side. So there's no burr because you can't feel it. Good, on to the paring knives. Now, after this is just fresh off the belt grinder, so you can feel a burr on that. See if we can. So here's a good example of why you don't want to use a belt grinder or sander on a high-end knife. I don't know if you can see it. See if I can get to focus on that. But right here on the bolster, you can see the bolster now sticks out a little bit farther than the cutting edge. And that's from removing material to try and reshape your cutting edge. Ideally, you sharpen your knives on a regular basis so you don't have to remove material and you don't end up with this. Keep your knife sharp and honed and yours should be fine. Let's check for a burr. Still a little bit. Feels good. Do the other two, and we'll do the chef's knife. All right, now we're going to try this chef's knife. Now you can, there's a huge burr on this side. If you flip it over on this side, you don't feel any burr. So again, we're going to try and knock that burr off. Now we probably won't feel no burr. Nope, feels smooth. We'll flip the knife over. And there's the burr. So we'll do this side. Regular process on my knives, hunting knives and kitchen knives, I usually just hone them. I don't put them on the belt grinder. I'll keep them honed, and then we'll put them on the leather strop to try and prevent loss of material. And ideally, that's what you want to do. Alright, so we have no burr on this side. Flip it over. You can almost hear a difference. There's a burr on this side. I don't know if the iPhone's picking it up, but can hear it. A little bit more oil. Some people say you don't need oil on Arkansas stone, but I find you get a better result if you use oil, just for a hand sharpen. You can hear a little bit of grit in that, so we should wipe it off. And that grit is the burr coming off. And wipe the knife off. Smooth. Still a little burr on that side. And the thicker the cutting edge, I find the longer it takes to get the burr to break off. The finer the cutting edge, the quicker it is to sharpen. Now mind you, a professional chef would not consider this to be the way he or she or they would want their blades to be sharpened. But for the average homeowner who's cooking in their kitchen, this is just perfect. All right, let's try that. That feels pretty good. Might be still a tiny burr on that side. There. Pretty well gone. There, no more burr. All right, we'll move over to the leather wheel and make them like a razor blade. So this is what I use for a leather wheel. It's just on my grinder. This is leather. It's been well used. It's probably time to replace it. But you can also just use a leather belt with a little bit of wax on it, or a piece of leather. So this is just regular white honing paste. Whoops. Or you can use just a white compound to with a little bit of wax, or regular car wax I've used before. Really all you're doing is polishing the edge, and whatever remaining burr is on there, it breaks it off. So we'll try it with the honing paste first, and then we'll do one with the harder material. I don't think there'll be much of a difference, but we'll try it. So we'll turn her on, put a little bit on here, spread it around. All right, we'll do a comparison with the paring knives. Just want to lightly run it along the leather belt. Now, these grinders come with a jig to get your proper angle, but we're not going to bother using that. The paste makes a mess, is the only thing. You want to try and keep it flat on the wheel. Get a rag and wipe it off. And do a little more. And you can reverse this. We'll do it here. And you can keep your knife in the same hand. And wipe it off. Should be good. Nice and smooth on that side. Nice and smooth on that side. See if it shaves. Yep, a little bit. Hit it one more time with the wheel. I have better results with carbon steel blades, holding edges, and sharpening. I find stainless blades, at least the lower quality ones, are hard to get a real good edge on. That could just be me. Feels pretty good. Yep, she's shaving sharp. I'll do a paper cut test after and see how well they do. Wipe this off. And we'll try the hard stone, or the hard material. To me, that feels sharper. Than the paste. And it probably has a little more grit in it. See here. Oh yeah, it's way sharper. I'm probably going to redo the little paring knife once we try our paper test. But I'll get the rest of them done. Same process for all of them. I don't need to show that. I get them all honed or stropped. And then we'll do our paper test on the paring knives. There. All the blades are sharp. They all shaving sharp. We'll do a quick paper test on this one, which was done with the hard polishing compound, and then this one, which was done with the paste. I have a feeling that this one won't be very sharp. This one here should be pretty good. Okay, first we'll try this one. That was done with the hard compound. It's still a little dirty. We'll give them a good clean afterwards. Let's see if it actually cuts anything. It's nice. Oops, I don't know if you can see that on camera if I'm doing a very good job. Alright. We'll try this one. This one was done with the paste. It's sharp, but it's not as sharp. So probably what I'll do is I'll put that back on with the harder compound and make it sharper. Let's just try one of the Santokus. I'll try this one right here. See how that works out. They need a good cleaning once we're done. Oh yeah, that one is nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Proof that you can make anything sharp. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.